are aware that we have the so sorry, my audio just went out for a second, that our homeowners know that your technicians are coming, and just a great solution all around to build trust with your customers. And we'll quickly go over some housekeeping before I hand it over to Betsy. So throughout the webinar, you're welcome to submit questions. As you move your right mouse to the right-hand side of the screen, you will see the Q&A section. Click on the Ask Question button, and we will be able to take those questions here at the end. And without further ado, I will hand it over to Betsy.
Thank you so much, Katie. And hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today as we talk about all of the things that are going on in your industry as we speak. As you all know, we are in the midst of a perfect storm, particularly this time of year. We are seeing a huge labor crisis, particularly in the trade space and in the HVAC market. Your trained technicians are getting older. There are fewer people coming into the skilled labor market. And so you really have to be careful that you are on top of all of your technology and all of your training, making sure that all of what you're doing in your business is designed to function proactively, and that you're not falling to the wayside because you are having some problems with your technicians. The other thing we're seeing is that in the off season, you see drops in your business where it's sort of gearing up for the cold season right now. But in the shoulder seasons, there's a great opportunity for you to take stock of all of the things that you're doing in your business and make sure that you are optimizing what you're doing to keep your business in line. You also might be seeing poor data quality. So if you are living in a paper and pencil world or just digital in the office and not in the market, you likely are seeing problems with data showing up inefficiently, and you have to do a lot of manual entry in order to make your business run accurately. And we're going to talk to you about some technology solutions today that will help you address that poor data quality. It'll keep your technicians engaged, which will keep them on your payroll, which is fantastic. And this is all something you can do in the off season when you have a little bit more free time than you do in your busiest seasons. We're going to start with your customer journey from a job perspective, right? So Successware is designed to run your business and then to also help you know your business. So a customer calls and you book a job, and the job then will pass through your dispatch board. All of that happens in Successware in your office, right? You've got trained CSRs who are taking calls and booking jobs. You've got dispatchers who are using the dispatch board to assign technicians to all of the locations. And then a tech shows up at the job on the day of. All of that happens on the back end of Successware in the office. Once that tech arrives on site, we have a mobile solution that helps a tech understand all of the things that have happened in that location before. They can they can diagnose a current problem, they can invoice, they can suggestive sell, they can do all sorts of things. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what mobile can do for you in a minute. And then, as Katie said, all of our accounting and inventory lives in Successware. We are designed to run and know your business from the beginning of a job all the way through to the very end. And you can manage your inventory. Every single widget that comes into and off of a truck, you can manage through Successware. And then our full accounting package is designed to help you get all the way through to closing your books at the end of the month. And that's just a customer initiated job. And that's the stuff that Successware is really good at. But we're also going to talk a little bit about marketing initiated jobs in just a little bit, because that's the stuff that PulseM and Customer Lobby are really good at, is helping customers come back to you after they've been through your process before. The great news is all of that data lives in Successware, and that PulseM and Customer Lobby just are an additional resource to help you get marketing going in an automated fashion. So you've got all this drama and all these crazy things happening in your business. What is the answer? How do you solve for some of this? The short answer is you digitize your business. You can go digital to grow your top line revenue. You can protect your bottom line margin, and you can also optimize your business processes with digital resources. Like I said, some of them are Successware resources, some of them are customer lobby resources, and some of them are PulseM resources. And we're going to talk to you about all of them through the rest of this webinar. So I'm going to start with how you can, excuse me, grow your top line revenue. And the short answer to how you grow your top line revenue is that you provide your technicians with mobile sales tools required to upsell opportunities in the field. As your technicians are going through a job, they see that there's a problem. Sure, there is an easy solution for most problems. There's probably a longer solution for other problems. And as they're in the field, they need to be able to upsell from a small job to a big job. And with, excuse me, with our options technology, you can allow your techs to sell more, right? So they can present multiple selling options to a customer, an entry-level option, a middle of the line option, and maybe a top of the line option. How does this work? It leverages items that are already in your price book. They're things that they already have access to, but you can show a customer in their home what this might look like. You can also see, those are screenshots of, that is a screenshot of what a mobile upsell could potentially look like. And there's a big purple bucket in the middle that says financing available. How does that work, you ask? Well, the great news is in Successware, we can provide fully integrated financing options. So you start the deal, as you saw on the screen below, and then we can help you close it. It is a simple, soft credit pull. It is designed for first look and second look loans. So there are loans for all kinds of people and all of your customers. It is not just designed for high-end customers who have great credit scores. Even those folks with medium credit scores are likely going to be approved with these financing options. There are no stipulations. It's easy for you to sign up, and you control, excuse me, you control your own cash flow. These loans are designed for a homeowner to use in your business only. It's not a bank loan where they can go and take out $10,000, use $2,000 with you and the other $8,000 someplace else. This is true financing where all of the dollars that your customers are approved for are designed to be used with you. Excuse me, moving right along. You can also protect your bottom line. How many times have you had technicians come back from a job with a form that's supposed to be in triplicate? Maybe they only have the top page, maybe they only have the bottom page, or maybe they lost it somewhere in the truck. Similarly, they've taken photos on their phone, and you have to figure out how to get them from their phone into your system. None of that is easy, and it causes drama, and it causes you to waste time, energy, and money trying to resolve all of those issues. Successware's easy solution for that is that you can leverage digital forms, notes, and photos in excuse me, Successware Mobile to allow easy communication between the technicians and the office. And when you ask, you say, hey, Betsy, what forms are you talking about? Any form. Any form that you are using today can be digitized in Successware. We've got a couple of examples here of what things can look like. We've got an HVAC checklist on the left-hand side, and on the right is an invoice. All of those things can happen within Successware. We have the facility to be able to sign forms, sign invoices. You can pay in Successware. Effectively, everything you need to do in a customer's home, you can do in Successware. And again, it saves your technicians the time and energy of having to be able to deliver content to the office. And then it also saves your CSRs or data entry folks in the office who are then putting information into your solution or filing them into the filing cabinet on the backside of your office. Because none of that is an efficient use of your time and or energy, and Successware has the tools to help you resolve it. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Allison, who is going to talk to you a little bit about how to optimize your business processes, particularly in marketing, by integrating with PulseM and Customer Lobby to drive increased revenue from your current customer base. Allison, to you.
Thank you so much, Betsy. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about today in terms of using technology. Betsy spoke to so many great tools within Successware. And if you want to take it to the next step, it's going to be about integrating with PulseM and Customer Lobby to really drive increased revenue from that customer base. So if we go ahead and go to the next slide, what I want to focus on with you today is really thinking about what the customer journey looks like. And so we're going to expand beyond just the realm of that one job taking place and think about the customer journey over the course of all the time they're going to do business with you. So what we typically see, and look, this is where we are data nerds. We love, I don't often say this, but I love Excel. We really like to analyze data, and we've been partnered with Successware for 15 plus years. We really, in that time, have integrated with thousands of contractors and been able to dive into their data. And what we started seeing over and over was the same pattern. And it's what you see up here on the board. We would ask these contractors, hey, in your business, how's business? Are your customers loyal? And they'd say, oh yeah, my customers love me. They're very, very loyal to me. They would never go get work done with anyone else. And then we'd look at their data and we would see this pattern over and over, which is, Joe customer, his system needs a repair. He calls you, he gets the repair done because that's typically why people are calling you. And then the next time, 2 years, let's say down the road, when his system breaks again, he doesn't remember you and he just calls someone else. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Things are changing in the marketplace. Customers are less brand loyal than they ever were. There's all sorts of reasons. People are busy. They lose your business card. But ultimately, the key is this is not a sustainable business model, right? If you have to get a new customer every time you want business, it's just not sustainable. So if we go to the next slide, it's going to show what a really healthy customer journey looks like. And what you can see here is we've overlaid PulseM and Customer Lobby. And this assumes that you've got the technology in place during the job that Betsy was talking about. So you're doing a great job at the home. You're really supporting your customers when you're doing the work, but you're also setting them up before the job and after the job to stay a loyal customer. So, now Joe sees your review online, right? He schedules a job, but you send him a digital business card, a contact card. So he's got your information saved to his phone. Then he gets a bio saying, hey, we're on our way to your home. Then after the job, you ask him to leave you a review online. And then you consistently after that are sending him personalized messages, thanking him for his business, reminding him about other services you do. A lot of the people here today said that you do multiple services. So if you do HVAC and plumbing, he may have used you for HVAC, but does he know that you also do plumbing, right? And so this is how you get to a much better customer journey where that customer is a lifetime customer. And that same pattern is so, so important to have repeat customers. And so if we go ahead and take a look at the next slide, this is really why investing in repeat business matters. So I think hopefully these stats are not a surprise to anyone on this call, especially the first one, right? We probably all heard this at some point in our lives, but it's 5 to 25 times more expensive to get a new customer than it is to keep an existing one. And that stat is that's actually increasing. It is getting more and more expensive to do, digital ads online to try to attract new customers. Advertising and attracting new customers is just getting harder and harder and more expensive. And so you really want to invest in your existing customer base. Some of these other stats, though, are even more powerful. So 60 to 70% more likely to sell to an existing customer versus your chances of being able to sell and get someone to commit when they're a prospect and a new customer. So I'll let you read through those other stats, but keep those in mind. And now we're going to go on and talk about, since it matters, why is it so important? What is it? What can we do with that information? So what we can do is try to increase our customer repeat rate. How many of our customers are repeat customers? That's a really important metric to know. And if you don't know it, I would encourage you to reach out. My contact information will be at the end. There's no cost for this, but we can integrate. We can just connect to Successware. It literally is just a couple of clicks. We'll connect with your Successware, and we can tell you how many of your customers are repeat customers. And we can, every stat that's up here on this slide, we can get you. So here's what you're looking at right now. We've got HVAC as an example. So this is the average across all the HVAC businesses we've ever connected with. On average, across the US, the one-time customer lifetime value, so the amount that a one-time customer will spend with you, is $1,253. Now, if you can convert that one-time customer to a repeat customer, meaning you get them to do a second job with you, at least one more, and maybe they're going to do more, we don't know, but on average, if you take all those customers that have had 2 or more jobs with you, the average lifetime value, the average amount of money that they've spent with you will be $6,525. That's very powerful. So think about that. That's a 420% increase. If it's costing you $500-$600 to acquire that customer, if you only ever make a little over $1,000 on them, that's just not a sustainable business, right? You're only really making your money back when you convert that customer to a repeat customer. So if we think about that, let's say, and these are just averages, again, I'm happy to run your actual numbers if this is helpful, but if you do 200 jobs a month, and your current repeat rate is 60%. Now that's high. Typically I see it more like 40%, but let's say 60% of your customers are repeat customers. If you can increase that repeat rate by just 3.5 percentage points, so you can get it up to 63 or 64%, that's an increase in revenue of $435,000. That's a big increase in revenue for a pretty small increase in repeat rate. So I'd really encourage you to know your numbers, dig into these numbers for yourself. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide. How do you increase those numbers, right? You might be saying, well, gosh, I'm already doing everything I can. How do I get that 3 to 4 percentage point increase? Well, what I'd recommend you do is start by looking for technology. There's only so many things you can do. You can't hire unlimited people, right? And you're going to do the best work that you can, but there's so much technology out there that can make this easier for you. So some things to look for when you're evaluating technology. AI and machine learning. More and more of these are going to be really important. Real-time testing. Do these systems sort of test and improve over time? Do they have integrations? We already said, obviously, we integrate with Successware, but that close integration is so key because your Successware is the sort of core of your book of business. This is the source of truth. And so you don't want to have multiple sources of truth. You need to everything needs to be integrated to make sure that you have sort of the integrated customer experience. Segmentation and targeting, and then of course, customer data management. So let's look at, I'm going to give you 5 specific ways that you can address these things. So 5 specific kind of technology features that I'd recommend you look for to really optimize your customer experience. So number 1, and I mentioned this earlier, adding your business to your customers' contacts. So if you want to see what this looks like, you can see there's a QR code there on a screen. go ahead and get your phone out and just with your camera, scan that QR code, and you're going to see in real life what I'm talking about. What you can do, and at PulseM, we're the only solution that is doing this, and it's a game changer. It is when your customer says, all right, I'd like an appointment. Will you guys come out next Tuesday? Great, appointment scheduled. Send them your virtual business card. It's called a contact card, and it's the same thing that you would be sending to your friend if they ask for your contact information, right? It's that attachment that gets sent via text message. They can click on that and actually download your contact card to their address book in their phone. And that's key, because I'll tell you what, if my kids call me and tell me the toilet's overflowing, I'm not at home. I don't have access to the business cards to find who was my plumber. Oh, what was his name? Right. And the thing you don't want me to do is go back on Google and search to try to find you. And now you're paying for Google ads, or I'm finding one of your competitors. Right. Instead, if I'm in your phone, or if you're in my phone, right, then this is what you get. Number one, if the customer searches in their search feature on their phone, you're going to be the first solution to show up. You can see that in that third image there. Your Baker Brothers Electrical, in this instance, is going to show up before any of the online search results, right? Second, anytime Baker Brothers calls, it's not going to show a random number. It's going to show their logo and their name. That is huge. I don't know about you, but I don't answer unknown numbers anymore. I just don't answer when they're calling. And you want to make sure your customers will answer the phone when you call. So showing up that it's you that's calling. And then the real key is it also makes it easier for your customer to then share your contact information with others. So when they're outside talking to their neighbor and the neighbor says, oh, who do you guys have? We need a good HVAC guy. They'll say, oh, I've got his contact info right here. Let me send it over to you. So this is a really, really cool feature, and I highly recommend you make sure you're utilizing it as best as possible. So let's go on to number 2. So the other thing you want to think about is how to increase communication to improve that customer experience. So PulseM helps you send bios and pulse checks. A bio is, hey, we're on our way to your home. It's got an image of the technician, right? It's got a little bit about him, allows you to see his online Google reviews. And that's really important. If you think about Uber or Lyft or DoorDash, any of these tools that everyone's so used to now, these are people coming to your home, and it's important that you have some trust. If I'm going to invite this person into my home, I want to know, who are they? Can I trust this person? And so getting a little bit of a technician bio ahead of time and that reminder that that you're coming today makes a big difference. After the fact, the second key piece is to ask, hey, how did we do? Would you be willing to leave a review for me? It's going to do 2 things. It's going to help you get more online reviews, which we know are so, so important. If you're not asking for reviews and you're just getting them organically, you know who's going to leave you reviews? All the angry people. They're the ones who have the energy to go online and just vent all their frustrations on Google, right? But if you ask, if you say, hey, it would really help me out, tell us how Chad did, leave us a review online. Most people are going to be willing to do that. You've just got to ask. So make sure you've got technology in place to do that. We'll go ahead and go to the next solution. So the third thing I want you to be sure you're doing with whatever technology you're using is tracking your progress. You need to have good reporting in place. So track those increasing reviews and use the analytics. Know how many reviews do I have? How many recent reviews do I have? That's really key because Google's going to use that to decide where you rank in terms of search results, right? What's my star rating? And how is that improving over time? You've got to see the results to know if the technology you're using is working. All right, let's go to number 4. This is number 4. So I talked about AI, and look, I know that there are a lot of people out there that people tell me this all the time. I don't know about this AI stuff. Like, the robots are coming for me. They're going to take over the world, and I get it. But the thing is, before they take over the world, let's use that technology to our advantage. And so there's a lot of really interesting, cool things that you can use around AI. So what's key here is that you need to use AI to make sure that your customers are loyal and that they stay loyal and that they have a great customer experience. We actually have some data that's really interesting that says customers expect that you're going to raise their prices. And I didn't imagine that in the last couple of years, everyone on this call has had to raise prices at some point. If you haven't, you probably need to, right? Customers are okay with that. They get it. People know that the prices are going up, that you've got to raise their prices. But when you raise prices, what the data shows is that people expect to see customer experience improve at the same time. So if my price goes up, I expect a better customer experience. And so what are you doing to make sure that customer experience is improving right along with prices? And using AI can really help you to identify trends and patterns and give you ideas. So what you're seeing here is an example, but we can actually use AI to go out and say, you know what, read everything that's been written about me online. Read all the Google reviews, Facebook reviews, all the reviews that have ever gotten online, and tell me what the themes are. What are the trends, right? What are the positives? What are the negatives? And imagine if you could have a report like that on your desk every Monday morning, and then you take that to your team meeting, and now you've got a set of things to coach on. Hey, great job, guys. People online are saying this and this about us, but we're still having some issues in this area, and so let's do some coaching around this. That's really, really powerful. All right, finally, I want to talk about segmentation of your customers. So it's really important, and this is another place that AI and automation and technology can help, but you can't think about your customers as one big monolith. So if you are just sending out a coupon or a card to your customers twice a year, every customer, and treating them all the same, you're missing a huge opportunity. So we know that you'll get much better response rates, and your customers will be much more likely to listen and take action if you treat them like unique individuals who you know. And you do know them because you've got all their data in Successware, right? So you know about this customer, you know how much they've spent with you, you know when was the last time that you did a job for them, you know what's their average spend, you know typically how long it is between jobs. So do they typically once a year, you're out to their home, or is it more like every 2 or 3 years, right? These are really important data points that you should be using to segment and customize your communication to your customers. So you can see some examples here of what that might look like. Hey, it's only been a couple of years, let's send a different message. So at Customer Lobby, what we do is send automated postcards and emails. And I know some of you here are already Customer Lobby customers, so you understand the value here, but this is a great example. There's 3 things I want to highlight on this postcard example. Number 1, look at that image, right? Unless you're heartless, you've got a little bit of you that's saying, oh, isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, look at those kids, right? It's fall, getting into the holidays. That emotional reaction, no matter how brief, when I get this postcard out of my mailbox and glance at it, that emotional reaction is really important because it's causing this postcard, this message to stick in my brain, right? That's what you want to do for your customers. You want to get sticky. And the way to do that is to make sure that, I'm sure you have lovely technicians, but putting a picture of a technician or one of your amazing trucks just isn't going to elicit that same kind of response that this wonderful picture of cute kids with teddy bears will. So think about that when you're selecting images for your marketing. Number 2, you can see we've got the customer's first name here. So again, personalized, Douglas, right? And we're saying, hey, it's time to schedule your fall service, right? We might even pull in here, hey, it's been 2 years since your system was serviced. We can pull all of that information in, and we're going to give that message to Douglas because we know that's the case with him. Now, if he just did a fall service last week, he's not going to get this message. He's going to get a different message. And so in one, you might be sending mail to 5,000 customers, but every customer should get a different message based on their unique profile. Final thing I want to show you is the box down here. So you can see the offer. It says $20 off your next service. This is another piece that's really key. we know that offers are good. We know that offers help get people, can help some people, not all, kind of trigger them to take action. But you don't need to give the same offer to everyone, right? And so if you are smart about it, what you can do is say, you know what, if it's been 2 or more years or 3 or more years, I'm going to give a much bigger offer. Maybe I'm going to give $100 off, because I think that might really get somebody to come back who it's basically a lost customer. But those customers who, hey, it's only been a year or two, I'm only going to give them $20 off, right? Let's not give away money, but let's be smart about using offers on the right customers in the right way. All right. So I've been through a lot. There's 4 things I want you to remember, if nothing else from this, this session. Number 1, investing in repeat business increases the likelihood of making a sale. Number 2, involving technology throughout the customer journey to improve customer experience is key. Number 3, you've got to have multiple touch points to check in with a customer. Remember that customer journey slide, and you know, Betsy and I both have just focused on, so don't forget how important the entire customer journey is. And finally, personalize your marketing for repeat customers based on all the data that you have in Successware to make sure they're getting a really personalized experience. And with that, I believe, Katie, I'm going to hand it back to you, and we'll see if there are any questions.
Thank you, Allison. All right. Well, we do actually have a couple questions, well, a handful of questions actually. And Betsy, I'm going to start with you, if that's okay. So first, does a company have to use the mobile version of Successware to get access to the consumer financing solutions?
Nope, they sure don't. You just need to have a business, and you need to have consumers who need financing, and we can help you with all the rest of it.
What a great answer. All right, let's see what else we have here. How many different forms can a company load into Successware Mobile? And the follow-up question is, can they assign them by user type?
The short answer is, how many forms do you have? Because you can load all of them into Successware. We have a really easy form builder where you can go in and create, you can say, this is the kind of form it is, and then you can add all of the fields. It's super easy, and you can assign them by user type. So a technician or a helper or an office person can all have different kinds of forms that they use in Successware.
That's awesome. All right, one more question, and I love the skepticism almost behind this question. Can I really stop using QuickBooks with Successware?
1000%. The Successware accounting package does all of the same things that QuickBooks does. So you have no need to use multiple softwares or be reliant on an integration between 2 different softwares, especially when it comes to handling your money. We can do it all in Successware, and no, you do not need to stay with QuickBooks.
I love the streamlined approach there. And that is all I have for you, Betsy. Thank you so much. All right, Allison, I got a couple for you here. Let's see. Does using the PulseM feature like bios and pulse checks, does that actually add workload to the technicians?
That's a great question. And no, it doesn't, because you're integrated with Successware. That bio is going to go out automatically when someone's dispatched, and the pulse check will send automatically when the job is completed. And what's key about that is it can send within seconds. So you're getting those things done in a really timely way, and you're not having to rely on your technicians to remember, because as much as we'd like them to, we know they don't always remember to do these things.
Sounds like it makes it easier for the technician. All right. And our final question that we have here is, what are the different campaign themes that I could send out for my business to my customers with Customer Lobby?
Gosh, there's so many different kinds. I think you saw, you can send thank you campaigns. Right now, holiday campaigns, just sending out a holiday card. We see great responses from that. You can send service contract reminders. So, hey, it's fall, it's time for your service. Now it's spring. Have you gotten your system service? But ultimately, I'd really recommend, start with just a branding campaign. Don't worry about all these kind of specific lists. Start with a general branding campaign. And with Customer Lobby, that's the one that's going to use all your data and your AI to actually figure out who the right customers are to target. So it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it for you. You don't have to figure out what types of campaigns, and you don't have to be a marketer. Just let the system be smart enough to figure out who to target. That's what I'd really recommend anyone start with.
Thank you, Allison. And Betsy, it looks like we have one more question that actually came through chat. Kim would like to has shared that she has to manually manipulate her reports and list from Successware 21 to get her accurate list. How does she know how the list or how precise the list will be?
That's a great question. Sorry about that. That is a great question. The accuracy it's in how you query the data, how accurate your data actually is the short answer. But Kim, we can follow up with you after this webinar to walk you through what that could look like.
And Kim, I'm not sure if who that question was for, but if you're wondering about making sure the lists are accurate, then that you're going to then use to, for example, send out postcards and emails to your customers. What's nice, because you're integrated with Successware when you're using a tool like Customer Lobby, is that you don't have to download any lists and manipulate them. So it'll be accurate in real time. So I don't know if that was actually the question you're asking, but that's, I think, an important piece to know, is that the lists are accurate in real time. There's no kind of downloading something from one place and uploading it somewhere else.
Awesome. Thank you both for answering that question. All right, we are all wrapped up with questions. I know our panelists were, by the way, you guys did phenomenal. Thank you so much for coming and educating the groups today. As you guys can see, we have some more information here on how to get in touch with our group. So Betsy McIntyre, again, she is with Successware, and then Allison Bruce with PulseM and Customer Lobby. We are super excited to help you. Any questions that you have, whether it's, I definitely want to sign up, or if you just want to learn more, or like Allison said, we have some examples we can share, and same goes for Successware. Please feel free to reach out. And that is all we have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.